We have some new observations. Basically, even during the day, you can observe fringes when you're using a mirror. These mirrors, you can now see sort of the phone on the mirror. I literally just have a laser. I have the mirror. I reflect, and on the wall, boom, you can see it right there. It's very odd. The possibilities that come to mind are that it's interfering with the back of the laser, or that this mirror, you can basically, it has a glass on top of the actual reflective coating, and the glass is one mirror and the reflective coating is another. And those, because of, if you come in at an angle that's not exactly 90 degrees, but maybe close to it, there's a small offset, right? And that offset could create an interference pattern because maybe it's small enough for the beams to still intersect somewhat, but large enough for them to somehow get like a path difference, right? Because when it's going through the glass. It's also weird, you can see that, you can see part of the laser here in the back of this. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's just that the reflective coating in the back of the mirror behind the glass doesn't perfectly reflect. But if I can show you, I don't know if you can see, but you can see that there's two, there, yeah, there's two from this angle. There's two sort of laser points, right? On the back, there's only one. I think that's why it's most likely the mirror and not the other case. So I'm going to try and control for the other case by just kind of blocking with something in the back. I'm not sure exactly how I'll do this. Give me 1 sec. I'm doing something of an experiment here. All right, so I've set up kind of a shitty control system. So basically, the thing that happens here, by control I mean control against, you know, this unknown variable of whether it's the back of the laser. Just using the mirror here, you can't really tell, but the heights are such that I'm pretty darn sure this white box is blocking all light from the back of the laser. Maybe we can slap on like a little bit more on the top. Just anything will do, probably. Just like I'll fold some paper, put it there, or even just a little slab of cardboard would work. It just has to not sort of open up. I think, yeah, the paper definitely sort of proves, you see the angle, I would see it, right, because it's matte. So you can probably tell that, yeah, the laser's not getting there. You can barely tell, because the paper's kind of a little too tall. I'm gonna have to make the paper shorter. But you can basically, okay, we have paper, and we have, paper's still at a slight angle, so I feel like you should see something if there's interference. But look, there, boom, you can see some interference, not that great. Can't really control my, my hand to be totally still here, but there you can see it's sort of laser bouncing, and yeah, there's interference. And, okay, this laser is starting to get blocked by the paper. If I take this away, you see you know, all the back of the other lasers just going into this paper. So I think if I do this, we can just see some slight interference. So some slight interference. And it's not there, but you see the interference? That's only the laser from the mirror. So it seems like the mirror just has two, it reflects twice. Another way to test this is that I have the beam splitter, right? And the beam splitter, I guess part of it is supposed to be a mirror, right? This thing is supposed to partially reflect and partially let through. Like you can see that if you look closely here, let me see if I can try and get it. You can actually see some of what is behind. Let's see if you can see the phone with this. I can't tell if that's the phone. But basically it should be possible to get something of a reflection. I guess even normal glass should work. But if I use the beam splitter, see, I'm gonna put it at this 45 degree. You know what? I can even do 45-degree angle. Okay. So some of the lasers going over there, but some is also going back here. You see, there's two lasers. Now that I don't understand why that's happening here. I don't know what's going on. Because there's no laser when I take it off. So when I put it back on, there's two lasers. That means it's probably not the back of the laser. But you can't really see interference there until you bring in a mirror. And then when you bring in a mirror, you see interference no matter what you do. See, boom, you see some interference. So I really do think it's just that the mirrors reflect twice. And that explains why we also had like a gazillion little laser lights in the previous experiment, where we would, like on the screen when I recorded yesterday, you would see like from 4 to like 8 little red dots, right? That's probably because each mirror was doubling it, right? And then it seems like this somehow also this beam splitter doubles it. I'm not exactly sure what is going on there, but it may be a similar effect. I'm guessing it's due mainly to the fact that these are made from sort of multiple slabs of material. So this is glass, and then behind it there's this metal coating. So each of those reflects. Maybe the beam splitter also has different materials, but if you look at it, it looks honestly pretty clear. I don't know if this is something you're supposed to be able to tell with your eyes. Like you can definitely tell with, see, you can see the window back there. You can definitely tell with the mirror, but you can't tell really with the beam splitter here. I guess, yeah, just playing a little bit around with it, and you can try and get it to be normal. I guess it's harder with the beam splitter, to tell you the truth, also because I have to angle it a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't work. Because basically I have this tape set up here because the laser, when I didn't have these sort of strapped down, it would point a little bit upwards because there would be a small sort of force pulling down here from just the tension of these wires. And the whole setup is a little fragile, so I just kind of put it down so that I would get like a nice, horizontal to the ground angle here. But yeah, basically it looks like you can just get interference no matter what you do with this mirror, which I guess is also interesting to think about because it means that you could have like a ton of these sources of light, and it's kind of hard not to get interference, and as long as you have, at least 2 of them taking different paths. Interference that looks like that, like this sort of concentric circles, right? Which is weird because like you would think that if you start to add like a gazillion things that are interfering, like you're probably gonna get different behavior from if you had 2, right? So I don't know why that is, but just an observation.